it came up about how some of the schools are really hurting people that we've known for a long time. You know, you have to understand, Master Silva and I have been friends since the late 80s. We became exceptionally close in the early 90s, and then we worked together for about 8 years. Literally, our offices were side by side. That doesn't include the mentoring that he did for me, starting. And I think you took me on as a client in 1992. I think it was 92, 93. Then I went down and worked for you in, I think it was 94. I went down. So we've just been friends for such a long time, you know, and I've learned so much from him. And we always have these candid conversations, and you were sharing with me some of the people that we've just known for years and how their schools were not doing well. And that just really bothered me, you know, and as I was cutting my lawn and just really thinking it through, I called you and I said, let's just do something for this industry. This industry has been so good to us. It's taking care of our families. It's taking care of our staff's families. It's just an amazing industry. You meet the best people in this industry. I said, let's just do something. And you were on board. We joked around, you know, brought back the old name Prime Time. But that's important to understand that this is not a feeder program. You know, we're not going to give a bunch of content and then later on hit you up with something, try to sell you something. This is strictly free. You know, free. You say there's nothing free in life. That's not true. So if you want to invite people, we plan on, if you think the content's worth it, if you think there's value here, you go for it. Share this with as many people you want. It's a great industry. I can't even imagine where we'd be in this country without martial arts, especially what it does for kids and adults. So let's see if we can help. For sure.
Mr. Garcia, you see Charles Jarnigan. Charles has a school, traditional Japanese school in St. Louis. He did really good through the pandemic by going virtual. He went from like 240 students maybe down to 200. Wow. So he lost very little. He's back open now. More and more people are going. But, you know, those first 6 months, I was survival. Okay, we got to survive, and we have to do some cutbacks. You can lose a few people. But he came through pretty good. But now he needs to enroll new students just like everyone. Okay. Everyone's in that position. Okay, we're getting open. I need more people because I did lose some. I got to get back to where I was and then get back into growth stage. You've been really good at marketing for a long time. And I know you surround yourself with some really good marketing people like Seeds Marketing. They do a great job on your website and videos. Where do you see marketing, and how's it going to help, and what could people do now?
Well, that's the thing, is that there's very few times in this industry there's something coming along that's like a game changer, so to speak. And this really is, but it's, you have to be patient. We have to understand that marketing is changing. That's the thing to really kind of wrap our head around, is marketing is definitely changing. And I'll give you an example. It's no longer what we say our schools are about. It's no longer what we say we can do. It's now, branding is now being created by the customer. So I'm going to give you an example. You go on Amazon, and we all do, when you're going to order something. How many of you purchase the product or that you're going to buy based on the company's explanation of what it does or how good it is? Or do you look at the reviews and you allow the reviews to determine whether or not you think that product is, you know, up to par, it's safe to buy, so forth and so on? And I think we'd all agree it's the reviews. The reviews, it's no longer what we say we can do for the customer. It's now what the customer's saying we can do for them. That's how the marketing world is changing. It's all completely customer based. So once we start to realize that, then we have to take different approaches to our marketing. Most of the marketing that you see out there is what's called interruption marketing. You're on Facebook, you're scrolling down Facebook, and bam, you know, you constantly get these videos, these ads, and they're exactly what they're called, interruption marketing. They're interrupting you. You go on a YouTube video, what happens? You're forced to watch this, you know, this 30-second video. You're forced to before you can watch the video that you really want to watch. Interruption marketing. That type of marketing, ads constantly bombarding you in your face, that type of marketing is fading away, and it's becoming less and less effective. And the reason why is because the same dynamic with Amazon. There's a serious lack of trust out there. And I'm not trusting what you say you can do for my son or daughter. I'm not trusting you what you say your school's about. I'm now going to trust what other people are saying. So if that's the case, then we want to give these other people a chance to go ahead and share. So what's really interesting is it's kind of like what's old is new again. We're going back when I first met Master Silva, and United Professionals was just, catching some momentum. I remember he came in my office and we were talking. He goes, it doesn't help us help them to teach them how to market their schools if the student comes in and has a bad experience. It's kind of like, we're putting the cart before the horse. So that was the beginning of the instructor college. And as far as I know, we were the first company to ever create an instructor college. And that was the beginning. And that was the reason why, because what Master Silva wanted to do was he wanted to make sure that everyone knows how to teach, but we want to make sure that we're giving the student a really good experience so they stay. Otherwise, it's useless to do all this marketing. Well, that's what's happening now. We've got to make sure that we're giving the student a great experience, because they're the ones that are going to go out and tell everybody, and everyone's going to believe them over what we say. So, Master Silva, do you want me to get into some specifics now? Okay, here's where the rubber meets the road. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to do what's called value-based marketing, or what we call community outreach. So if you take a note, the first thing that you want to do is you want to do community outreach. And I'm gonna backtrack and explain what this stuff is. But if you're taking note, community outreach, you want to post it to your pages, your Facebook, your school's Facebook page, post it to the page, share it from the page to all your groups. That's number two. So first, post it to your page, your school's page. Number two, share it to all your groups. So you have, like, your karate kids, your parents' karate kids, your adults, share it to all those groups. And then Facebook's going to say, hey, this thing is tracking pretty well. And Facebook's going to ask you to boost it to the community. And that's when you go ahead and boost it. It'll be done demographically. So Facebook knows what parents out there have kids and what adults are interested in fitness. But then now it'll be the third thing. You'll boost it to the community. Now let me backtrack and let me talk about these videos. What are these videos? Well, I'll give you an example. The video that we are doing in September, we're doing the ABCs of conflict avoidance. So these are exactly what they're meant to be. We're just serving our community. We're going out there and we're letting our community know what our school does, and we're giving them real content here, not a sample, real content. Whether they come or not doesn't make a difference. We're giving them real value. We're trying to help them. We're trying to serve them. And then they're going to make the determination for themselves. But here's what ends up happening. Now you gain a reputation in your community that you're the go-to guy or girl, that you're the expert in the community. And unless you do something drastic, it's very hard to dethrone the expert in your community. Another school comes in, it takes time to get your way up there. We've been doing this for years, and everybody in the area knows that we're the place for fitness and self-defense and self-protection. And man, I've seen these videos, they're really good. They not only teach self-defense, this month they're teaching conflict avoidance by avoiding dangerous places and situations, controlling your body, and also, being confident and we just give them this content. Next month, well, what's next month? Next month's October. So we have bully defense. So we'll give these weekly videos that's boosting throughout the community, and we're teaching parents and kids how to protect themselves against bullying. November, we'll get into like the rules of focus. So every week, there's these videos that are being posted to our page. Everyone who's ever liked our page is getting notification. They then get posted to the groups. They then get boosted throughout the community. And then here's another thing. You'll constantly see students, once we post them to the groups, you'll constantly see students begin tagging their friends in. They want them to see this stuff. And then there's our exposure. But again, this is them doing the marketing for us versus us doing marketing. So the first thing that you'd want to do is, if you want to produce these, what we call these community outreach videos. The second video that we do, and this is done on a monthly video, student testimonial videos, where we'll have a student and we'll just, you'll see them highlighting them in class, and then we'll be talking to them about what some of their benefits are. And these things, same thing, this gets posted to our page, shared to our groups, and then boosted throughout the community. But now what's happening, you're having a student tell the viewer what we do and how we've helped them, this is a better form. Now we still do the other form of marketing. We still do the interruption marketing. I'm not saying don't do that. We're still very much active in those areas. But I had a school owner, I think it was last summer. And I felt like he thought I was misleading him because he asked the question, hey, I guess you guys can go. I'm not that familiar with how the whole Facebook thing works as far as the behind the scenes, the algorithms and all that stuff. But I guess you can go on my Facebook and see my ads. You can just search, yeah. So he calls me and he says, I don't see you run any ads. And I heard in a webinar that you're getting 60 leads a month from just Facebook. How are you doing that with no ads? And I said, well, there you go. There's the real question right there. I don't run ads. I don't run any static ads. It's this stuff right here that brings in, because what happens is they're seeing the content, and then when they do see the other forms of marketing, the interruption marketing, the videos, they're most likely to take action because they've already seen a sample of what we have to offer, and then they're more interested in it. So I use the analogy like tilling the ground. Before they see the ad, you got to kind of get their interest peaked. So number one is the community outreach stuff. Every month, produce some content. Every month, how many of you teach intros, or you have someone teaching intros and the kid comes in and all of a sudden, you say to them, okay, first thing I'm gonna do is teach you how to focus. Now there's 3 ways to focus. We're gonna focus with the eyes, and the parent goes, whoa. Now we've been doing this. This intro has been around since the 90s. You know what I mean? And parents still get amazed when we teach the 3 rules of focus, right? Because there's value in it. We're becoming so immune to it because we're around it all the time that we forget how much value there is in what we do. So you just put that stuff on video and just get it out there, and just try to help the single mom or the parent out there that's struggling, and give them some tools that they can share. And this is how you start getting the reviews, rather than what the company says the product does. Now you got people writing the reviews for you, so to speak. So number one is the community outreach videos. Number 2, Master Silva, can I share my screen? Is that possible?
Yeah, there's should be a green button on the bottom.
Okay. It says it's disabled. Host, you disabled it. Aw.
How did I do that?
Usually when you set the guidelines, it says only the host can share his screen. So I don't know if there's a button there that you can because I was gonna just show one of these videos real quick.
Mr. Silva, you can change the host so he can become the host. You can do it from there.
Where I go to participants, Diego?
Yeah, participant and make him a host.
There you go. Awesome. Hello, sir.
Mr. Garcia, how are you, sir?
I'm awesome. I'm getting to that age where I put my glasses on so you can't see the dark circles under my eyes. But when I have my glasses on, I actually can't see my screen. So it's one or the other. I either now I can. So everyone's kind of a little fuzzy because I kept on, oh, how are you, sir?
How are you, Mr. Garcia?
I'm great. Hello, Mary Beth. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Miss you guys.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, I made you the host.
All right, you need me to host. Oh boy. All right, so let's see here. All right, I think we're on, sir. All right, so let's just I'm gonna go ahead. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there you go. This is the one that we're producing this month right now. So you just see right here. Of conflict avoidance. When most people think of martial arts, they think of self-defense, self-protection, and rightfully so. We spend a large portion of our focus teaching children how to protect their bodies and their mind, but also teaching them how to avoid conflict is very much a part of self-defense. One of my favorite movies, The Karate Kid. In the movie, Master Miyagi is asked the question, what's the best block? And he simply answers, don't be there. Avoiding conflict is a great strategy to learning how to defend yourselves. This week, we're gonna begin with the letter A, which is exactly that, avoid. Teaching children to develop an awareness to avoid dangerous places, dangerous people, dangerous situations is a great method to avoiding conflict, avoiding having to defend yourselves in the first place. Now, when we've taught this to students, sometimes kids hang around with other kids
they may get called chicken or you're afraid. And we simply just tell the children, you're never chicken or afraid when you're using your common sense, when you're making wise decisions and avoiding danger. Parents, thanks for listening. We're always here to help, and let's team up and never give up because it's worth it.
And that's it.
Very nice.
So now you don't have to, hold on, let me come back. So you don't, obviously we have, as Master Silva said, I use Seeds. He's local. He's probably about 20 minutes from my school. He comes in, you don't have to do the fancy camera stuff. You can film that right off of your phone and then just post it, have your logo in the background and then just post it. So obviously that's week 1. That's the A. Then B was controlling your body. We just simply talk to the kids and say, listen, I don't know about you, but when I get excited, and not excited in a good way, but when I get nervous or angry, I don't make wise decisions. So we got to learn to control our body when we start to feel like we're getting into a conflict by breathing. We just teach them deep breaths. And then of course, C is confidence. Kids, unfortunately, bullying is a targeted thing. They tend to look at the kids that look weak because they want an easy prey, so to speak. So teaching kids to walk around with their chin up and their back straight, make eye contact. And then if conflict starts to use a strong voice, put your hands up, say, I don't want to fight. I don't want to be bothered, and having that kind of front. And, hopefully when parents see that, they'll start to realize that maybe their kids could use some karate. But we're not making offers. We're just delivering content, and we're really trying to just help the community and let them see the value for themselves. I don't have, let me try to, does anybody, I'm going to try to see if I can get you guys a testimonial video. But does anybody have any questions in the meantime before I go on?
I do.
Okay, sir.
You talked about the different groups. I'm assuming these are groups made up of your students and parents?
Right. So we have, parents of ABD. So that's all the parents, and we'll post. The thing about your page, you don't want to post anything on your school page unless it's some type of marketing. You want, because if you post like, hey guys, this is this week's t-shirt. Here's the way Facebook works. If somebody sees that on your page and says, I'm not interested in a t-shirt, and they just go scroll through it quickly, they just sent a message to Facebook that they're not interested in the content on your page. So now they're not going to see when you're actually posting good content. So the groups, that's what you post in your groups. These are private groups. You take all your parents, you put them in a group. In the groups is where we post the new schedule, the t-shirts that are coming in, announcements. That's all posted in your groups. That doesn't hurt your marketing. Only on your pages do you want to post stuff that we say, hey, if a prospect saw this, would they become more interested or less interested in our school? That's the stuff you want to post on your pages.
I remember when we were at your school this past summer, and we were just talking about that. They said that's why videos are so good, because people will slow down, even if they will just watch 3 seconds of the video that shows Facebook that you are interested in that content.
That's right.
I saw a lot of schools post yesterday were closed because of Labor Day.
Right.
That's a bad thing to put on your page.
That's right. That should be posted. That should be posted on your groups.
Right.
All right. Let me see if I can. Now, because of the whole COVID thing, we've got a lot of stuff in our groups, a lot of Zoom classes. So I'm trying to look for a testimonial video for everybody. But does anybody have any more questions before we go on?
I think you started really good, and I don't know if I hit record, but when you really started, you talked about before marketing comes student retention. So you got to be so good that not only people stay, but you have to be so good that people remark about your school and they want to tell other people about your experience.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna give you a couple more things. I can do both. So the next thing, so we have the testimonial videos, we have the community outreach videos. The next form of marketing is VIP events. I'm a huge fan of VIP events. Not only am I a fan because they work, but it costs you literally nothing to do a VIP event. So what is a VIP event? It's most of us are already familiar. It's an event that we do at our school that gives our students a chance to bring friends. So a good example of a VIP event is a women's self-defense seminar. Okay, you're gonna do in October, you're gonna do a bully defense seminar. Okay, and this is not just for your students. We're not only using this event to serve our students, but we're using this event as an opportunity that if you have friends that are interested, why don't you bring them in? Another good VIP event is Buddy Weeks, okay, Buddy Month. These are all, that's the stuff I think we're about to extend past the free time.
Yes, we have 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. So I'm having a tough time finding a testimonial video because of all the Zoom stuff, but I can get one and then send you a link. But here's the thing that you want to know about a VIP event. All right. Number one, I heard this great marketing concept one time called the purple cow. Real quick, it's this family that are in England or Scotland or something like that, and they get wind of this thing called a purple cow. They're all excited, and sure enough, they go down to a certain area and they find them, and sure enough, it's a purple cow. It's the way the sun hits them, they're purple. Kids are excited. They get out, they take pictures, selfies, driving, more purple cows. They get out, they see it, amazing, driving, more purple cows. A little less excited. Keep going. Pretty soon, more purple cows. Don't even get out of the car. Don't even look. The reason why that's a marketing thing is because people go, well, women's self-defense seminars don't work. They do work. It's just that you got to think of the purple cow. I got to keep it fresh. All fresh ideas, all new ideas. Buddy weeks, they work. It's just you got to be really creative and think of fresh, new ideas that's going to get people to go, wow, this is cool. I can't wait to do this. So, you got to network and talk to people. Hey, what are you doing? But you want to keep this stuff fresh. I like VIP events because it does give people a chance to come in and actually try it out. Then the next thing when you do a VIP event is not only do you want to keep it fresh and creative, but you want to reward your students for participating. So what we're doing this time around, we're having Buddy Weeks. And if you support Buddy Week, so all the instructors this week are wearing this right here. All right, let me just get to it. All the instructors are wearing this week. So this is our Hulk smash COVID. So all the instructors have these t-shirts they're wearing. And if you support Buddy Week, you get a free t-shirt. Okay, you can't buy this t-shirt. You can't order this t-shirt. You can only get this t-shirt by supporting Buddy Week. Or any, I should say, any event this month. So, it's just kind of fun. The other things that we'll do is if we're going to do like a nunchuck seminar, if you support Buddy Week or you support a Buddy event or a VIP event, any VIP event, you'll get a free pair of nunchucks and you get to come to the seminar for free. But just, there's the old saying, what gets rewarded gets done. So when we do the VIP events, we try to always somehow, figure out a way. Coincidentally, in our adult program, you can bring an adult. You can bring I got this from Master Silva. Years ago, we used to teach a teens class of over 90 teens. And one day we had some school owners down, and the school owner said, how did you get your teens program so big? And he said, well, think about this. Let's run this scenario. I'm a teen, and they're very social, they're awkward. Zig Ziglar used to say they're cowboys. All they say is, yep, right? So, I'm a teen. I'm already socially awkward. Hey, come to my karate class. Oh, that's really weird. All right, I'll come. You're going to be with me, right? And I mean, as adults, we do that, right? We go to a party. We say to our wife, don't leave me. I don't know anybody here, so don't leave me, right? So, and all of a sudden the teen goes, oh, no, you got to go to your own class. You got to go to your own class. I got my, done. It's over. But the fact that they could go in the same class. So what we did with our adult program is we have our adult basic program, and it's ran in such a way that you can bring a buddy to it at any time, any class. You just have to give us a 15-minute notice. If you give us a 15-minute notice, then it gives us time to do the tour, teach them some basics, and then they get to go in the class. And then what happens is to the student at the end of the class, I would simply come up to Mr. Silva. I go, hey, Mr. Silva, I really appreciate you bringing Mike in, to show him the school. Says how he's talking right now to make sure you had a good time. Why don't you go ahead and pro shop and grab whatever shirt you want. Thanks for supporting us. So at any time you bring a guest into our adult program, you get a free t-shirt. They don't have to sign up because you did your job. You brought somebody in. The rest is my job now. So we'll just give our adults any t-shirt they want for bringing somebody in. Again, there's that whole just what gets rewarded gets done. So we have community outreach videos. we have testimonial videos, we have VIP events, and the last one is referrals. And I know that many school owners, when I talk to them, they're like, it's tough to get referrals. Referrals come from rapport. The more rapport you have with your parents and vice versa with your adult students, the easier it's going to be. No one, you all are very close here. You know each other really well, right? No one would be offended if anyone here recommended something. If we were talking, and I was talking to Diego, and all of a sudden I found out, Diego was really into this pen, pens and stuff. I said, hey, I found a really good pen that I just really enjoy. It writes really smooth. You should try. He's not going to get offended because he feels that I'm making this recommendation because I know his interest. That's a referral. It happens over time. It happens from developing a really good rapport. And then all of a sudden one day I just may go with something, hey, are you going to do the Women's Self-Defense Seminar coming up? No, you should do it. You should do it. We're going to teach the 4 most important things that every woman should know. You should do it. And if you want, I'll wait here, so that you feel comfortable. I can get you set up with Alex, and Alex will make sure that you feel comfortable. But that comes from just rapport. If all of a sudden I'm talking to Dad and, hey, you're going to take class with Billy during the Parents' Week, you should really do it. Because I'll tell you what, kids, they're just addicted to parental improvement. You should really get in there. And that's it. And then I may come up afterwards and go, hey, Mike, you look really good at that. Have you considered doing Krav Maga? Giving it a shot? It's just that type of rapport. So it goes back to your prep zones. Always have someone in the waiting room, building rapport with all your parents, talking to them. And then that's where we get the referrals from. We're constantly just, harvesting the group and trying to get them plugged in. How's that, Master Silva?
Excellent, sir. All really, really good stuff.
Anybody have any questions before we bring it?
All right, everyone.
Okay, we got some questions.
Hello, Mr. Garcia. Thanks for coming on. Maybe it's for everyone. Any upgrades happening during this Zoom COVID? Because in Massachusetts, we're restricted to like 35-minute classes. So there's really not a time, increase. So my upgrade has gone way the dodo bird in terms of this COVID. I didn't know what people were doing for that, just waiting for, the end of it, or.
We're doing it. We're still doing upgrades. We're still approaching people and talking to them about the next step in their training. Before we used to do a thing called pre-black belt training. So if you were a yellow belt, we would want you to get on black belt training now so that we had time to teach you some of the weapons that you're going to be learning. We can't do that. So now we have to kind of wait for orange belt. But some of the instructors are still kind of meeting with the kids a little privately at the end of class, just giving them some basics. So, our attitude has always been, when this whole thing hit with COVID, I kept telling my staff, I said, you guys got to be the Roger Bannister. You got to be the Roger Bannister now. It's time to step up. And the reason why I said that is because he believed that he could break that 4-minute mile where everyone else didn't think he could. And that's kind of what we needed to do. We needed to just have our expectations like, let's just run things like it's normal. I know it's not normal, but let's just pretend in our mind like it is and let the chips fall where they are. So, we kept doing upgrades. We kept doing everything. And is it running up to par? No, but it's probably better than if we just said, I don't know if people are going to do this right now. T-shirts and all that stuff. We're still selling. We changed the way we're selling it. We're selling everything online now, but we're still, running a pro shop and trying to do the best we can.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, ma'am.
I think what we've been utilizing successfully is WhatsApp. So we'll keep contact with them or check what they're doing and give feedback by video and then recommend an upgrade. But we've been pretty successful with the upgrades. So maybe utilize your time outside of the class time.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I've heard a lot of stuff about that. WhatsApp.
Some people, they need that personal attention.
Yeah.
Like send them things in the mail, like send them the stars and stripes and notes, and you got to really take care of your Zoomy people.
Would you guys think of the recording today? Was it helpful?
Awesome.
All right. Well, we want to put out some real good content. We don't want it to be like, well, it's free. No, we're gonna put our best foot forward here and try to.
I love the community videos. That's awesome. We have so many. We don't share them on Facebook. That's great.
Right. It's just there's so much we have to offer, I heard, I'll just end with this. I'm sorry, Mr. Silva, but I heard this really cool thing about the Weta brothers, the Weta brothers. They were the ones that trained Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were the ones that actually taught Arnold Schwarzenegger what to do with his money. And this is what Arnold Schwarzenegger said. They said the first thing that they taught him was you have to have something to sell, whether that is you or that's a feeling, or they said you got to have something to sell. He said, and then you got to tell everybody what it is.